Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you've struggled to remember a name that was just on the tip of your tongue? If so, you're not alone. These little lapses in memory can be frustrating, even a little worrying. But what if I told you that preventing memory decline isn't as complicated as it seems? In fact, science has uncovered a simple 5-minute daily trick that can help keep your brain sharp and protect you from dementia. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is this just another health fad? Absolutely not. This method is backed by real research, and the best part? It's easy, enjoyable, and doesn't require any expensive supplements or complicated routines. Just 5 minutes a day can make a significant difference in your brain health. And no, it's not solving crossword puzzles or drinking some miracle tea. Before we dive into it, let's talk about why this matters so much. Dementia isn't just about forgetting things. It's a condition that affects how you think, how you make decisions, and even how you connect with your loved ones. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's exactly why small daily habits can have a huge impact. You wouldn't wait until your car breaks down before changing the oil, right? The same goes for your brain. The key is to start now with something so simple yet incredibly effective. So what is this 5-minute trick? It all comes down to something called neuroplasticity. Now, don't let that word scare you. It just means that your brain has the ability to change and grow at any age. And the best way to activate it? Movement. Specifically, coordinated movement that engages both your body and your brain at the same time. One of the most powerful exercises for this is something called cross-body movements. This means engaging both sides of your body in a way that forces your brain to work harder. Why does this work? Because your brain thrives on challenge and coordination. Simple actions like touching your left knee with your right hand, then switching sides might seem too basic, but they wake up parts of your brain that control memory, focus, and problem solving. Think of it this way. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. But if you challenge it with movements that require coordination, you're keeping it strong. Studies show that just a few minutes of these types of movements can stimulate neural connections and even help delay cognitive decline. Let's try one right now. If you're sitting, stand up if you can. Now take your right hand and tap your left knee, then switch, left hand to right knee. Keep doing this slowly, feeling the rhythm. Now, if you want to make it more fun, try clapping in between each knee tap. Feels a little tricky, doesn't it? That's a good thing. That little bit of challenge is exactly what your brain needs. The best part? This isn't just about brain health. These movements also improve balance, coordination, and even circulation. Many people don't realize that cognitive decline is often linked to reduced blood flow to the brain. So by doing simple movements like this, you're not only sharpening your mind, but also supporting your overall health. You might be wondering, how often should I do this? Just 5 minutes a day is enough to start seeing benefits. You can do it while watching TV, waiting for your coffee to brew, or even while listening to your favorite music. The key is consistency. Now, movement is just one part of keeping your brain sharp. There's something else you can do, something just as simple that supercharges the effects of these exercises. Now, movement is just one part of keeping your brain sharp. There's something else you can do, something just as simple that supercharges the effects of these exercises. It's something we do every day, but most of us don't do it in a way that benefits our brain. I'm talking about deep, intentional breathing. You see, your brain is like an engine, and oxygen is its fuel. The problem is, most people, especially as we get older, develop shallow breathing habits. We take quick, small breaths that don't fully oxygenate our brains, and over time, that lack of oxygen can contribute to brain fog, forgetfulness, and even an increased risk of cognitive decline. But here's the good news. Just a few minutes of proper breathing can dramatically improve brain function. And the best part? You can combine this with the cross-body movements we just talked about for an even greater effect. Let's try it right now. First, take a deep breath in through your nose, slowly for about 4 seconds. Now hold it for 4 seconds. And now breathe out through your mouth for another 4 seconds. Feels good, doesn't it? This technique, sometimes called box breathing, has been shown to increase oxygen levels in the brain, reduce stress, and even improve focus. Now imagine doing this while moving, taking slow, deep breaths while performing the cross-body exercises we talked about earlier. What happens? Your brain gets a double boost. The movement activates neural pathways, while the deep breathing ensures your brain gets the oxygen it needs to function at its best. It's like flipping a switch that wakes up your mind and body at the same time. But we're not stopping there. There's one more simple thing you can do to make this routine even more powerful. And trust me, this one is a game changer. Have you ever noticed that when you're having fun, time seems to fly by? That's because your brain is fully engaged. When you enjoy an activity, your brain releases dopamine, a powerful neurotransmitter that enhances learning, memory, and motivation. And guess what? You can tap into this effect every single day with something incredibly simple: music. Studies show that listening to music while engaging in movement-based exercises significantly improves brain function. In fact, researchers have found that seniors who move to music experience better memory retention and a lower risk of dementia. But not just any music. Music that you personally enjoy, that's the key. Whether it's an old favorite song from your youth, a relaxing instrumental, or something upbeat that makes you want to move, pairing music with movement and deep breathing creates a perfect environment for brain health. So here's what I want you to try. The next time you do your 5-minute brain-boosting exercise, turn on a song you love. Maybe it's an old classic that brings back happy memories, or something that makes you want to dance. Then start with the cross-body movements, taking deep breaths as you move. Feel the rhythm, let your body relax and enjoy it. You're not just exercising, you're giving your brain the stimulation it needs to stay sharp for years to come. And here's something incredible. Science has shown that combining movement, breathing, and music doesn't just help prevent dementia, it can actually improve brain function in people who have already started experiencing memory loss. That means it's never too late to start. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, your brain still has the power to grow, adapt, and strengthen if you give it the right tools. But we're not done yet. There's another simple daily habit that works hand in hand with these exercises, and it might be the most overlooked brain-boosting trick of all. There's another simple daily habit that works hand in hand with these exercises, and it might be the most overlooked brain-boosting trick of all. It's something we all do naturally, but as we get older, we often stop prioritizing it. I'm talking about learning, not studying like we did in school, but actively challenging your brain with new information and experiences. You see, your brain is like a garden. If you stop planting new seeds, it starts to dry up. But when you keep learning, your brain continues to grow new connections, keeping you sharp and engaged with life. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of learning are we talking about? It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the best types of learning are things that bring you joy. Maybe it's picking up a few words of a new language, learning to play a simple tune on an instrument, or even trying a new recipe. The key is to challenge your brain in a way that feels fun and rewarding. Let me give you an example. Have you ever tried brushing your teeth with the opposite hand? Sounds silly, right? But doing small challenges like this forces your brain to work harder, strengthening neural pathways. Or how about taking a different route when you go for a walk? Little changes like this break up your routine and keep your mind active. One of the most powerful ways to keep learning is through social interaction. Conversations, especially with people who have different perspectives, force your brain to think, respond, and adapt. If you're feeling isolated, consider joining a local group, attending a class, or even just picking up the phone and having a meaningful conversation with a friend. Engaging with others keeps your mind engaged too. And here's something incredible. Studies show that seniors who continue learning have a lower risk of dementia and even show signs of improved brain function. Why? Because every time you learn something new, your brain creates new connections. It's like building a mental safety net that protects your memory and thinking skills as you age. So let's put it all together. Imagine spending just 5 minutes a day combining movement, deep breathing, music, and a little bit of learning. It doesn't take much, just a small commitment to yourself. Maybe you start your morning with a song and a few cross-body movements. Later in the day, you try a new recipe or read about something that interests you. Before bed, you take a few deep breaths, letting go of stress and preparing your mind for restful sleep. None of this is difficult. It doesn't require hours of effort or complicated techniques. It's simply about creating small habits that, over time, make a massive difference. And here's the truth. Your brain is capable of more than you think. No matter your age, no matter where you are right now, you have the power to keep your mind sharp, your memory strong, and your life full of joy and energy. But there's still one final key that ties all of this together. It's something that science has proven over and over again to be essential for brain health, yet many people overlook it. And the best part, it's completely free.